You can begin.
Welcome to using task activity boxes to progress monitor goals developed by the Simpson and Ashland RTCs. We're looking forward to sharing with you a few great ways to progress monitor your students both in and out of the classroom. What are task or activity boxes and how can we actually utilize them? A task box is a box that contains all the materials required for a specific activity. The child can open it, do the activity, and then put the things back into the box. The activities are usually simple and structured, and the child has to perform them for a short period of time. We can use the same task box consecutively for a few days or weeks until the child has mastered the activity. Activities in the task box are planned by the teacher according to the goals and IEP of the child. As you will notice, a task box can be as simple or as complex as you would like to make them. The pictures shown show just a few examples. The picture in the left-hand corner shows step-by-step instructions on how to make Play-Doh creations. The cardboard boxes allow for simple, multiple skills on a shoestring budget, using what you have in your classroom or at home, along with the coffee can activity. Activity boxes. Activity boxes are designed around a theme, book, or interest utilizing things you have in your classroom. Companies are now sending out monthly subscriptions of activity boxes similar to the activities that we have always done within our classroom. If you're looking for ideas before starting your box, we have listed just a few for you for reference. Attention or fine motor, beading large wooden beads with a shoelace, making a tower out of wooden blocks, placing pegs on a pegboard, using tweezers to transfer beads from one container to another, making animal pairs with little toy animals, and separating beads of two or more different colors. Literacy skills, matching picture cards, retelling a story using props or felt pieces, answering who, what, when, where, and why questions, and math, placing stacking cups inside each other, learning about size, simple one-piece puzzles, collect a set of small plastic containers and write a number on them. The child has to place the right number of objects in each container. Remember, what we can do is only limited by our imagination or what we can find online. Getting started. Boxes should be goal-driven. During a 20-minute play activity, the child will decrease from 5 out of 5 to 2 out of 5 aggressive behavior incidences during 5 consecutive trials as measured by frequency count bi-monthly. When we develop our boxes, we must always first look at our goals. The goals should always drive the decisions you make on the items and activities that you place in the box and how you will progress monitor this specific goal. Activity boxes. There are many things that we can put inside of our activity boxes. A few of the skills that are covered in the boxes shown are fine motor, spatial relationships, one-to-one correspondence, sequencing, matching, sorting, following directions, problem solving, and higher order questioning. While all of these skills are covered in this activity box, it is not necessary to progress monitor them all. You should always utilize your goals to decide on what goals should be monitored and what is appropriate for the students within your classroom. Task boxes. Task boxes should be a quick, concise activity that can be opened, completed, and closed when done. These are great for students to begin to establish independence while reinforcing mastered skills or basic concepts. As a reminder, these boxes can be completed several different ways, such as individually, verbally, using gestures, or hand over hand. Skills that are covered in these boxes are one-to-one correspondence, cardinality, stable order, object order irrelevance, color sorting, and shape match. The simple, streamlined design of these activities make it easy for both parents, teachers, paraprofessionals, and substitute teachers to implement. How to make a task box. This is very simple. First, you just decide on the goal you want to focus on, plan a simple activity that will help the child to achieve that goal, collect the materials and things that you need for this activity, and make anything if it's required. Find a shoebox, plastic box, whatever you have on hand, and just simply put the activity inside the box. And now your task box is ready. Developing activity boxes. Activity boxes can take many forms. You can develop them around a book, a favorite theme, or activity, or just an area of development. The greatest thing about activity boxes is the fact that they are easy to develop, fun to use, and a great way to collect data on your students' specific needs. This particular activity box allows you to work on various skills, such as listening skills, buttoning, zipping, and tying shoes, sock sorting, stacking blocks, counting the dots on a die and stacking the appropriate number of blocks, color mixing with color paddles, matching colors using the experimental method, simple color matching, fine motor skills by pinching clothespins and tweezers, and sorting objects. As you'll notice, the videos that are listed here are utilized through a QR code. QR codes are great to use because it alleviates the chance that a link could be mistyped by whoever is using it. A free site that could be helpful to you when needing QR codes is theqrcode.com. This link allows you to put in a website or video URL, and it will then make it into a QR code for you to utilize. Big Red Barn activity box covers things like who, what, when, where, and why questioning, the scientific method in designing and creating a barn, graphing and asking questions, colors, action words, mommies and babies of animals, such as a horse and a foal, the life cycle and where does our food come from, and last but certainly not least, animal yoga. You will notice on all of our lists, we have put the items within the box in different colors. By color coding the list, it helps parents or adults using the box to know what should be returned, which is the items in red, and items that parents or adults can keep at home, such as the items in black. Last but not least, social emotional development. A great resource when working on social emotional development would be the Book Nook from the Center on the Social Emotional Foundations for Learning. This website is used by the National Implementation Research Network. This lesson was adapted from one of the many lessons on their site. Sometimes I'm Bombaloo is a book about how Katie sometimes loses her temper and uses her feet and fist instead of her words. She's Bombaloo. The book describes how this can be scary, but with a little time to calm down and think about why she's mad and a little love, Katie feels like she is herself again. This activity box allows for an adult to read the story and have discussions on when and what could make you lose your temper, good manners, making a feeling better book, sensory play using Play-Doh to get their feelings out, music and movement using paint or drawing utensils, and a button to hit to express their feelings of being mad if they're unable to express them verbally. You also have Tucker Turtle takes time to tuck and think, along with a cute little finger puppet to be able to reenact the story.
Developing task boxes. For task boxes, we find activities. Do not go crazy over this. Anything can be a task box. There are some cool ideas out there, but you can make some really cool stuff with things that you already have or activities that you already bought on Teachers Pay Teachers. Plus, there are a lot of free ones out there that are already developed. The goal is to have a short task that allows the student to work independently on a specific task in a supportive environment. Parents, caregivers, and educators can choose from the task boxes that teach and reinforce skills such as fine motor, problem solving, cognitive development, or social skills. Pictured are some examples of different containers that you can use for a task box. Once you have your task box ready to fill and label, the next step is to determine what task you want to teach so that you can gather your supplies and write up a list of steps needed to complete the activity. Remember that each task box should have a definite beginning, middle, and end, and should focus on one skill at a time. Some examples of task boxes that can be easily put together are pictured here. We have a color bead match to use pipe cleaners or strings and beads that correspond to the color of the string. This can go for counting and cardinality, comparing which one has more, or matching and sorting. There's a button sorting task box where we can sort by big or small, or by color, or by the shape of the button. And we can use this to improve our fine motor skills by manipulating the buttons to drop into the container. We can use cards to match colors or shapes with clothespins to help match and improve our fine motor skills. Sorting crayons by color using the crayon color sorting mat. An errorless task box to match objects. And all of these can be used to improve following directions and attention to tasks. And here is a video of fine motor and a sensory task box. So, progress monitoring. We can gather data from parents in many different ways. We can do this with phone calls, with Google Classroom forms, or videos that are sent in. It is essential that we make every effort to ensure that ongoing and effective communication and partnerships are established and maintained with parents. With minimal additional planning and a bit of flexibility, parents can be helpful in supporting the implementation of task or activity boxes and monitoring progress. You can also always have a Zoom or a Google Meet to meet with a parent and child and watch the child complete a task and provide suggestions. These are examples of progress monitoring forms that parents can easily use to track behavior, social skills, or cognitive skills and send back to their teacher. We have a monthly charting for any goal on an IEP, a behavior chart where we can chart behavior weekly, specific data collection for matching and identifying colors that can be used for any other goal in the IEP, or charting feelings daily. This here is a short video that a parent sent in to their teacher to show how he followed directions. He was to check on the weather and report back, and as well as improving his sentence length.
Is it ready? Oh, it was April. April, it's gonna be, the weather's gonna look like it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain now. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. And the weather looks like it's gonna rain now. It's gonna rain, rain, rain. Is it ready?
So as you can see, we can easily track in progress that videos that parents sent in to us. In working with parents, we want to effectively engage and work with them, and it's important to know their specific questions and concerns with regards to their child's learning and respond to those. Parents want to be involved and engaged in their child's learning, and many are able to establish and maintain ongoing and productive communication with teachers on a regular basis. We need to communicate to them the importance of establishing a predictable daily routine. This means the same place at the same time each day. Keeping to this routine will help the child anticipate what to expect. To set aside 20 to 30 minutes several times a day, if possible, when interruptions will be at a minimum, and choose an area that is relatively quiet and free from distractions. We want parents to do what works best for them, to provide a place where children can have their own space with homeschool essentials, and to keep everything in the same place where it's easy to find when it's time for school. These spaces should be visually defined, clutter-free, with limited noise and limited distractions, and with visual cues. And these task and activity boxes are helpful to provide a place for each skill that the child is working on.
We hope that you have gained some knowledge concerning how to use activity and task boxes to progress monitor your preschool students. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to join us. As a reminder, please feel free to call your regional RTC for additional information or from training. That's our job. We're always here to help. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a wonderful day.